Hello and welcome back to another game of StarLadder Star Series Season 8, Day 9, Game 3. We're gonna see VirtusPro taking on QPAD Red Pandas, and with me is G Advance. Welcome back. Oh yeah, wait. Okay, say it again. Welcome back.
More VP.
More
Yay.
VP, yes.
Because, yeah, you can never have enough VP, because these guys are utterly unpredictable.
That is very true. We've seen 2 games from them for now. I have to say the first game looked convincing for them at the start, but weren't able to take it home. But the second game definitely looked out of their hands at some point, right? They have 2 games
definitely.
where they made a comeback, and one time they made the other team have a comeback. They have been great games. Let's just put it that way. Good games coming out.
Yeah,
from the team.
definitely. I agree. There've been a lot of. I mean, both these games so far that we've seen have been quite interesting. What do you think of this one? Because QPAD have been kind of out of the scene for a while.
Yeah, I kind of feel like of the 3 opponents that were there today for them, this is the easiest one. That's what I think.
5 seconds.
Yeah, QPAD, I mean, at some point this team was good, right? I mean, I remember when they first came out, they were doing some really innovative things, but that was under a very different roster. I think the only one from that roster is Wagamama?
Yep.
Was Blue Banana in that roster as well?
No,
I can't remember.
No, it was Mini
Wagga.
and Jarex and Sing Sing and I don't know anymore.
There was the guy from StarCraft as well.
Oh yeah,
the StarCraft player who was like,
True.
I'm gonna show everybody how much APM matters.
Yep.
And
And
it
then he
turns out
failed.
APM doesn't matter. Like, not even a little bit.
Nope. Well, I have to say I haven't been seeing that many games of QPAD, but from the results that I've seen, because I do check the results regardless of if I watch the game, they haven't really been impressing me all that much. They have been playing in a couple of tournaments. Of course, Fragbite was one of them. But not really playing all too strong. But, I mean, this is their first game, I believe. No, this is not their first game. Let's take a look at the scores real quick. Yeah, it is their first game here in this season. So, they have a clean slate. And I will hold my judgment until we've seen them play a couple of games. Of course, 0 games played of 17, so there's a lot of games to base my judgment upon still to come. And VirtusPro, of course, after previous game, they're sitting now on 8-4-4, so they're sitting actually in the top 4 right now with 12 points. But yeah, up against QPAD, it's interesting. I don't think that QPAD in this roster has faced up against VirtusPro ever.
No, I don't think so either. And I think the last time I saw them play with this roster, they were against My Carry is So Kawaii, which is a great name.
Yes.
I think if I remember watching it, they didn't do well as far as results, but I think they did okay as a team. Like, they seemed, you know, alright. They definitely weren't where they were before, which is sad, because where they were before, they ended up losing a lot anyway, and ended up, like, disbanding. But, I mean, you know, they were an interesting team before. I would put it that way.
Yes, they definitely were. Well, so far, I mean, they've secured themselves a Wind Ranger and a Crystal Maiden, 2 very strong heroes, and Wind Ranger, of course, offering some versatility in terms of her being able to fulfill multiple roles. So that's always something that I look for in the draft. How much can they shift their lanes depending on what the other team does, as we are going to see the 3rd in a row Light of Heaven Mirana, and I think also the 1st in a row Jotun Venomancer, or what did he play in the first game? Or was it a Crystal Maiden?
He played.
Because Arsart has been Earthshaker all the time.
Yeah. Like I said before, it feels like VirtusPro are scrimming or something. They feel like they're practicing, you know, because they've picked. They've picked exactly the. They've banned exactly the same stuff. They've banned Alk and the
OD.
What's his name? The Elder Titan. Every single time.
They didn't ban Alk in the first game though. That's why they lost.
Didn't they? Oh no, yeah, they lost to Alk. I think they've decided to ban that now because they were like, screw that.
Yep.
Okay, earned way too much money.
We're not gonna do that again. Oh, we do have another Doom ban out. This time a Visage. I found it surprising to see that in the first 2 games today, the Abaddon was banned out twice. I'm not really expecting it still though coming out from VirtusPro, but they are a team that sometimes does use it, so perhaps we're still gonna see that one. But Earthshaker still in the pool, of course, as well. And Arsart has definitely made that hero work for them. So I'm kind of thinking we're going to see the same thing again there. On the side of QPAD, I mean, the bans are kind of non-showing. The only thing that VirtusPro is banning out right now are offlane heroes, which indicates that they're expecting this Wind Ranger to be a support. But even that's not sure.
Or possibly even a core hero. I mean, we have seen a fair amount of Wind Ranger or Windrunner, whatever you want to call her, as a solo mid and as a farming hero, a farming carry in like aggressive tri-lanes generally. So I mean, she's an interesting hero, like you said before. Very versatile, great pickup in this stage of the game. It feels really odd because QPAD have picked Wind Ranger and VirtusPro have picked Mirana. These heroes, as far as like their basic concepts, is pretty much the same. Like they've both got above average damage nukes. They've both got skill shot stuns, and they've both got very, very good escapes. The only real difference between them is just sort of like how those escapes work and how those skills work. So it's interesting to see them both pick that up like that.
Yeah, Wind Ranger always commenting Mirana on the mount, which is the real difference between them. That is a nice mount you've got there, Mirana. Something like that.
Is that one of her lines?
Yep.
That sounds... I could make that dirty, you know? Like, can I make that dirty?
No.
Am I allowed to?
Well, if you must.
I'll like type it in the chat later or something. I'm sorry.
Well, you can always you type it like in 2 minutes, so then it still fits the moment from the viewers.
Yeah. Alright, okay. I'll like try and time it.
Yep. I gotta have the stream open to know like it was when they picked up the Weaver. And by the way, Earthshaker picked up again indeed, so it looks to be very, very similar. I hope for QPAD that they were watching the games just now, and that they know what they can expect, and that they indeed can expect an aggressive trial lane and a solo safe lane coming out from VirtusPro as the last one. We still have a Queen of Pain in the pool that G made really well work for them in the previous game, so perhaps we're gonna see that one again. And which mid was he having in the first game again?
It was a Timbersaw, and it went poorly.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see that.
He ended up dying a lot. And missing, like, timber chains, because trees are such difficult targets to hit.
Yeah.
Like, I always find whenever I look at a tree... Exactly. Like, it's so difficult to hit a target that's literally rooted to the ground.
10 seconds remaining.
It's fine, he can't hear us. It's fine.
The flame.
Yeah.
Turn to pick.
I really like the picks for QPAD so far. They've picked up both Weaver and Bounty Hunter, who are really, really strong heroes. Well, actually not as strong now, but they're quite strong heroes versus Venomancer, because the Venomancer, he's quite reliant on hitting a Gale. Hitting a Gale on a Weaver, what does that do? It does nothing. You can just Sakuchi out of there. Bounty Hunter really preys on, you know, those heroes who can fall behind, especially HP-wise, which is something that Venomancer always has issues with, which is why in the mid-game he basically just, like, runs in and novas and is like, my job's done, guys, see ya, I'm gonna go, like, eat something.
Yeah, and on top of that, I mean, VirtusPro likes to fight. If you're gonna have track kills going your way, even if you fight, it's gonna be going your way, so that's kinda forcing VirtusPro to also consider a more passive playstyle. They do pick up their Storm Spirit though, which is a fairly aggressive hero, especially in the hands of G, so we'll see what they do with that one, but for now, I agree. QPAD's draft is pretty well thought out. We do have a Night Stalker ban still, which is interesting, but we still have a solo bottom to go to. If we're gonna see the same thing again, then solo bottom is the way that VirtusPro wants to go for, unless they want to go for 2 dual lanes again, in which case the Necrolite is still in the pool. I mean,
yeah, there's a lot of different options they can go with their draft. One thing I would say is that, like we said, we saw G in the first game. He had a terrible game. He's playing on essentially what is like a modern hero. You know, Timbersaw is one of those heroes who, when he first came out, he was a joke. I mean, look at him. He looks like a joke. He's a goblin in a giant mech.
He's afraid of trees.
He's afraid of trees and like continually talks about it. And then we have G going onto these classic heroes, these classic solo mids, Queen of Pain, Storm Spirit. That's when G was seen as one of the best players, is when Storm Spirit and Queen of Pain, etc. were really, really popular. But Beastmaster, very good hero versus Storm Spirit though. At least in the mid game for helping pick him off.
Yeah, and it can be very decent also in the early game. I mean, you're not really gonna lose your lane up against a Storm Spirit as a Beastmaster in the early game, and the moment that you hit level 6, if you're even a slight second ahead of that Storm Spirit, you should be able to pick him off.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, you've got to have very, very fast reactions with the Storm Spirit to get away from Beastmaster. His animation for Raw is very, very short indeed, and it looks like VP, I mean, I said before, it looks like they're scrimming. It looks like they're practicing. They're picking the same sort of lineups. I mean, it's what they're comfortable with, though.
Why fix something that's not broken?
Exactly, which is why they didn't pick the lineup they had in the first game, because they lost.
Yes.
Badly.
Yes, they did. Alchemist.
Well, it was an even game most of the game, and then Alchemist became like the god of war and killed everybody with big choppy things.
Oh, that Alchemist was so incredibly fat. It's insane.
I hardly ever see heroes that fat before. I think that's like the third highest net worth hero I've seen in like a professional game. Well, maybe not, I don't know. It's the third highest I remember.
Yeah, 40k net worth is just, you know,
for battle.
Shouldn't be legal. Shouldn't be legal. Well, we are gonna see ourselves a game. And we are gonna see that with QPAD Red Pandas on the dire side with Blue Banana. Or, I like Blue Banana. I don't think those exist. But playing the Weaver, we've got Darren playing the Crystal Maiden. Stompa will be on the Wind Ranger. And that should be our trial lane, safe trial lane coming out from QPAD. In our mid lane, it will be Wagamama. No surprise that he's playing the Beastmaster there. And the off lane, of course, Werner will take that one with the Bounty Hunter, with Boots first. And look at the amount of pulls he got. They really want him to live here on this bottom lane. And I think that it's going to be okay, especially if he's against a solo Necrolite. Foss.
Yeah, this is a bit of an odd one though, because I think this is one of those situations I think QPAD have picked quite a nice draft, but they don't know what VP are doing. Because the reason you go for this build on the Bounty Hunter, the reason that you get boost of speed and then get pulled by people, is to screw around with enemy defensive tri-lanes. It's to screw around with jungling. I mean, that's why he's placing these wards here. These aren't really to stop ganks, because, I mean, if they want to gank him, the only thing he's going to rely on is running away. Having prior warning isn't going to help him a huge amount, and they don't have great heroes to kill him off. So, given that we know that VP are either going to run aggressive tri-lane or a dual lane on the safe lane, I feel like if you knew this was going to be a dual lane or a solo versus the Bounty Hunter, you try to get an early Poor Man's Shield, you try to pick up things like Orb of Venom and such. But I mean, it's not a huge deal for him. It just makes him... It's just slightly redundant to have this many tangos when you're against like a Necrolite.
Yeah, they have a slight change, by the way, from last time. Instead of Earthshaker, it's actually a Venomancer bottom, and Earthshaker is actually top, helping out the Moran up against an aggressive tri-lane. I like it though, because they need a more safer support here on the bottom lane, on the top lane, and that's indeed the Earthshaker. While on the bottom lane, they might have a bit more aggressive support in the form of the Venomancer to harass the Bounty Hunter away.
Absolutely, and this gives them way better kill potential on this lane. We're looking at a lane really with 3 very squishy heroes in this lane. I mean, 2 of them have very, very good escapes in Blue Banana and the Stomper on the Windrunner. But if for instance Durham gets caught out by this, I mean, look at him go. He's dead.
You mean like that? Yeah, like that.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Well, that happened. Nice combination, and that is the combination that we looked to see in the first game that we had today. But they make it happen. I guess their scrimming / row of games, line of games here in StarLadder does make perfect. Practice makes perfect. Nice combination, and first blood against a trial lane is of course something that you can be happy about, very happy about even.
Exactly, and actually I think VP this time, they've got way better lanes versus QPAD. I really like QPAD's draft overall, but how is a Crystal Maiden going to help you kill Mirana? I mean, you've played plenty of Mirana over the past few days. Frostbite does nothing to you. You can leap, and it doesn't stop you in any way, shape, or form, basically. So, yeah. And the same goes for Crystal Nova. Doesn't help. Yeah, they need to rely on Shackles, and relying on Shackles, in my opinion, is not a good thing, because you're relying on a hard-to-hit skill shot.
And even if it hits, for now it will still be level 1, and because they're on a trial lane, it takes very long for Stompa to actually level that up, and level 1 doesn't really give enough time to kill off Light of Heaven at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much an accepted fact. Until you've got a few more levels in Shackle Shot really sucks level 1. Like, it's a really hard to hit skill shot, and you're like, yes, I shackled him, and then it's only 1.5 seconds stun duration. You're like, I'm just wasting my mana.
Yeah, looks like, I mean, looking at the mid lane, the difference is not that big in terms of last hits. 16 for 3 for Storm Spirit, Wagamama on 10 for 0. I mean, 6 last hits, yeah. but the level difference is actually a lot bigger than I thought it would be. And there's only 4 denies on Storm Spirit. That's because Wagamama went for the rune and actually didn't do it when their lane was pushed out properly. We do have Werner rotating though, and perhaps they can get ahead using that one. They can make the lane won by Waga if they can get a gank off. There's only harassment from Werner and they can't get the kill.
Yeah, there's no way they can really get the kill without a stun or some sort of better slow than just the Janada. I mean, I'm not surprised by this at all. Generally, Storm Spirit's one of the better solo mids, and he's extremely strong in particular versus heroes like Beastmaster who are melee heroes. Because then he can basically run right up into melee range and just drop a static remnant, and Wagga has no choice but to tank that. In the meantime, G can get away, throw out overloads, and he can just sort of kite him around. He has a lot more potential in this mid 1v1 matchup.
Yeah, and he's
like
gonna
you said,
reach level 6 first.
Yeah, like you said, he had to go for the rune, and the reason he has to go for the rune is, like I said before, he takes a lot more damage from G just because G just puts out a ton more harass, and I mean, Wagga here, he's pre-runing, but's not managed to get it. It's a DD on the bot lane. Anyone who gets that will win this lane really hard.
He might actually drop here. The Fisher comes out as well. Is the harassment enough? There's not that much mana. There's still 1 remnant left. That might be enough to do the job. One more hit needed. The salve might help, but the kill goes the way to the creep. But it is G that kills him off. Sompa coming in a bit too late. Nice help from our side, rotating at exactly the right time there. And Stompart, good rotation from him as well to take over the farm that comes in towards this middle lane, because there's a lot of farm coming into the lane right now. But of course, losing your mid in that way is not good, especially not since it is the hero to be getting the action going mid-game.
Yeah, exactly. Wagamama's entirely their tempo controller in this. They're looking at Bounty Hunter to try and help with the kills and put up tracks and stuff. But until Wagga has hit 6, QPAD have no real way of being aggressive. They don't have any hero who can really lock people down for a long enough duration of time. Like I said before, they have, you know, ways of escaping. It's possible for the Storm Spirit to ball lightning away from Frostbite as well. So Frostbite really, yeah, I think they've VP have picked really well to deal with the Crystal Maiden in this game, because they have multiple heroes who can just sort of ignore the fact that they get frostbitten.
Yeah, I find that funny because they haven't really changed their draft at all.
Yeah, it's really, really odd. They're just like picking the same stuff every time. Yeah.
Well, we have got Crystal Maiden sitting in a pretty aggressive position. I don't know what they think they can do though with the 2 of them. And there's no time limit on the Weaver should something go wrong. And Arsat, I don't think he's scouted out just yet. But maybe they think they can take down a solo Light of Heaven? I doubt it though. I really doubt it. I also don't like that they have just a normal Greevil as a courier, rather than something spectacular like a Smeevil on a flying turtle or something like that. In the meantime, Werner, no, he's gonna be fine.
I have literally the ugliest courier. It's like a bone of contention with my friends that I play with. Like, they genuinely hate it.
Let's carry down.
Oh, that was yeah, that's a really simple kill for them to pick off, and that's why I'm a bit confused why Durham was actually in that bush for so long, because
they were trying
frankly
to make
he should be behind.
happen.
Yeah, but who are they going to kill?
I don't know,
Arsat is never going to go over this area. He's going to always be over here. How are they going to get to him?
I don't think they saw him yet. I don't think they knew he was there. Stompa came in from behind. As Bounty Hunter, by the way, drops on the bottom lane. Tower goes down with it as well. G helping out there. And I mean, I think that was just them trying to take down Light of Heaven, not knowing that Arsat was there. And then Weaver came in a bit too far and just, you know, flat out died. He's still not level 6. He is very far behind at this point. Farm-wise, not that much. I mean, he's still highest for his team. But level-wise, yes. Nice Fisher coming out, by the way. Arrow will fly. Let's see if Durham gets hit by it. Nope, he is able to dodge it. But G still looks to finish him off. Salve or not, Crystal Maiden is still in a lot of trouble. He's very squishy. Level 4 still. G, Moonlight Shadow. He's still going to be visible. He still wants that one last hit up on that hero. And he should be able to tick it off. Well, that's going to be another Frostbite. Maybe he is too greedy right now. Yeah, that's too greedy. Okay, he should have backed off earlier.
This whole fight was way too much from the side of VP. I mean, did you see the Storm's initial ball lightning? He went all the way directly behind the entire side of QPAD and used up every single bit of his mana. He didn't have enough to remnant, he didn't have enough to pull, he didn't have enough to ball lightning out of there. I don't know, that was too much, but it's easy to get carried away on Storm Spirit. That's one thing to say about this, and looks like Murano just went down to Beastmaster. Did you get roared?
Yeah,
she
chased
did.
him down. Like, he was still very low. Chased him down. The boar slowing him down. The vision from the hawk allowed him to roar up high ground. And very clean kill. And that also still stemmed from that top fight where they were just too greedy. And like, G was too greedy for the Crystal Maiden. That was basically the deal there. And that's the kind of overextension that QPAD really needed to have as well. They kind of need something to go their way because, I mean, the rest isn't really going their way. The 3 cores of VirtusPro are still farming more than the 3 cores of QPAD. Maybe Blue Banana can at least force G back to the fountain. No, Vortex comes out. Arside has got a Fisher. That's going to be Blue Banana dead. Shackle still latches G to a tree, but it's still level 2. So it's not very long. There is at least no Vortex yet on the Storm, so he will be forced back. But still, that is again the hard carry of QPAD dead. The highest farmed hero dead.
Yeah, this Weaver is really not having a good game of things, and part of the reason is their support combo is kind of weak here. I mean, normally we think of Crystal Maiden as a very strong support hero. I mean, she's proven herself in this patch, but versus their dual lane that can easily burst her down, one of the heroes is, I mean, impossible for her to kill, and the other is an Earthshaker, which of course can sit from very far back in the lane and still, you know, initiate. I feel like their supports really weren't able to achieve what they needed to in this game, and QPAD's lane just sort of fell apart.
Yeah, it did. It's I don't know, the way to come back, it's the roars that they need. The roars with the Tracheals and Waga and Wurna are on the hunt. They have smoked up. They're actually going to be able to catch out Illidan soon, but Illidan is pretty tanky right now. He's level 7. He's got himself an ult if need be. Let's see if he can be staying alive through this one. Moonlight Shadow comes out, but the Tracheals of course still there. In comes the help though, G coming in from behind, going up for Stompa first, and actually Illidan able to at least throw out the Reaper scythe. He's not able to get a kill with that. Can he actually throw out one more Q? No, he can't, but it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Arsart comes in with the Echo Slam. It's 3 dead. They just wanted to take down one putty Necrophos, but that's why Necrophos is a tank. Boom.
Don't call it a tank. I might never talk to you again after that.
Oh, you will. It's
Yeah,
a tank.
totally
Look at
will.
how tanky he was.
Yeah, they really went for him then, and I thought it was kind of funny because G absolutely just went for Stomper in that
Yes.
fight. He was like, nah, I know what the rest of my team is going to do. Goodbye, Illidan. I'm throwing you under a bus right now.
Yeah.
And it ended up working out. He got himself a kill, and the rest of his team were able to keep himself alive. Really nice play from the Necrophos, knowing exactly when to Reaper Scythe to keep himself alive. Like, it's really unusual to drop an ult like that, and it's the sort of thing that normally people are like, oh, why did he throw a Reaper Scythe? That's a waste of time. Well, he's alive, so
Yeah,
it
without
wasn't a
it,
waste
he
of
wouldn't
time.
be. Without it, he wouldn't be.
Absolutely.
The only reason he's alive is to be able to stall the 2. Quite impressive from VirtusPro. Yeah, I was actually thinking like G going for the Windrunner was kind of awkward, but it worked out. G actually with an Invis rune might be trying to make something happen. There is a roar up again on the Beastmaster, so maybe Wagamama wants to make something happen here himself. Although if he tries right now, there's a lot of heroes around here for VirtusPro. VirtusPro, again, I mean, they're playing their game. Which is, I think, the way that they have been able to get ahead in the previous game as well. There's just, you know, they just do whatever they want, and if QPAD tries to make something happen, they're able to deflect it, or at least make something out of it themselves, but they're playing their game, and they're not getting forced into something that QPAD wants to play, while QPAD gets forced into VirtusPro's game, and that doesn't fit them. They need to be more aggressive, and they just cannot be more aggressive than they are right now.
Yeah, they have, on the side of QPAD, I mean, initially you look at their heroes and you're like, oh, they're really aggressive, but they're really XP hungry in general. They have heroes who really need XP and farm on the Weaver, more than any other hero on their team. It's a hero that does nothing without it. Beastmaster can cope without, Bounty Hunter can cope without, but then he becomes basically food. And the same can be said about the Windrunner and the Crystal Mate, sorry, Wind Ranger, whatever.
And they're gonna do the same thing again, by the way. Bottom lane.
Is G gonna just kill somebody else in the meantime?
Well, G is already top. He's already lost quite a lot of mana. He can't teleport in. They kill off the Weaver top. And yeah, they're just not gonna go. Damn, I was already having a line in mind to say when they actually did go and it failed.
What was your line? We have to hear this.
Okay, so I've recently been playing Far Cry 3. I've already finished it, but the line would be, do you know the definition of insanity?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I thought
You were
steal that
supposed to
one
say
from
no!
you. I'm sorry.
Damn.
You know, I know that I played Far Cry 3, so I know the line and stuff.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
For people
But
that didn't know,
the problem with that,
it is
yeah,
doing
you
the
should say it
same
anyway.
thing, like doing the same thing twice and expecting different results. There you go.
Exactly, yeah. It's not like a new quote though. That's not like a
I
Far Cry
know.
3 only quote.
I know, I heard it before as well, but it recently been brought to my attention again.
Yeah, the guy who played that is really awesome, by the way.
Oh, I
like,
agree.
You know, do you know how he got the job? Like, they had like a basically entirely different character for the guy, and he walked in to the audition, and they changed the character for him. How awesome is that?
That is pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool.
A pretty cool accent
think-
he was able to pull off as well.
Yeah, I used to be able to do it kind of well, but I had a cold last week, so I can't really do it like right now.
It's a shame.
Yeah, I'm kind of good with accents, but then kind of terrible as well,
Prove
because they're
it.
all like really stereotypical.
What is your best
Sorry?
accent? Can you do Sean Connery? Oh, wait a second. Hold that thought.
I don't know.
Wagamama, you're dead. Werner, lucky to get alive. So do Sean Connery.
I'm too embarrassed to like
No,
do it
you
on
ha-
stream
like-
now. I should have said that I could do accents.
It's
No,
too late.
I
Sean
can't do
Connery is
accents.
like the
I
easiest.
lied. No, I'm full of rubbish. I
Sean
lied.
Connery is like the easiest, like very posh English. I don't know, that's your thing. Do it.
It's not like posh English. He is, but he's got that weird like Sean thing.
Do it.
He's got that weird thing going on.
Yes. Do it.
No, I can't do this.
Oh.
I'll like do it later.
Okay.
Well, I'll just like announce that a kill happened in it or something.
Okay, just do it like when you feel
Yeah.
comfortable during this game, okay? Okay.
Yeah, there can't be like pressure on top of it. It's like I have a friend
Understandable.
who can do dolphin noises. Like he can do dolphin. Like he actually sounds like a dolphin. It's like really convincing.
That's awkward.
But like if you tell him to do it, he can't do it. Like he tries to, he just can't do it.
just like I can do
So
the Tuskar.
that's my excuse. Sorry?
I can do Tuskar. The Tuskar of the
Yeah, do
Dota 2 reporter
Tuskar.
man.
Oh
No.
yeah.
I can't do it when other people tell me to. That's just not how it works.
You just use my own really bad logic against you. The
No,
hell?
but it works.
Yeah, it's true. No, Totska, I remember when people first heard voice in the Grieveling, and everybody thought it was really annoying. I really liked it, and people like hated me because I was like, I really like this voice, and everyone was like, no, it
it's a
sounds
Dota 2
terrible.
reporter man Tuskar, so he sounds a bit different than the actual Tuskar.
Oh, well then you have to say that then. What did you say that?
Have you seen the Dota 2 reporter man Tuskar episode?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay, good.
It's really funny.
It is
I love the Dota 2 reporter.
Oh,
I think it's
too,
brilliant.
Me too. I do think season 1 is way better than season 2 though. Ooh, nice deny coming out from the
Yeah.
mid-range. They do go up on the bounty hunter though. Was a Mexican standoff for a while, but it's VirtusPro that got the kill off the back of it. Even though they don't get the tower.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah, that was a nice kill by G there, just jumping in really aggressively then, and they take the tower from it as well. It's nice that you said Mexican standoff, because then I was thinking of the old Storm Spirit model, which everybody says was Mexican, was blatantly not, 'cause he's wearing like a Chinese hat and clothes. How is that Mexican?
It was the.
How many Mexican people have you met that wear Chinese clothes? Like, seriously? Yeah, he did have like a Mexican face though.
Yes, see?
Apart
Smoke
from
up.
it was blue.
QPAD, they still know that something needs to change. It's only Weaver still that is able to keep up with the farm. The rest is just trailing so far behind. Perhaps they can make a difference by smoking up behind Blue Banana and trying to force out a fight and then take a tower off the back of it. Because that's something that they have to keep going right now. If they get a kill,
Yeah.
take a tower because that's just where their gold's going to come from. Because it's not going to come from the track kills all that much anymore. Illidan
Yeah,
is,
the problem
trying
with
to
getting
hide.
this kill is VP
Radiant
so
structures are
much
fortified.
than
You're starting.
anyone's ever done. I mean, look, they're going to go on Blue Banana now.
Yep. When the Echo Slam comes out, they will be able to kill him off, even though the Reaper Scythe was a bit too early, if one could say that. Well, that's an arrow up on the Crystal Main, who already used their freezing field. That didn't kill anybody. That's 2 down. They don't take a tower. And they might still lose more, because G just zips himself into Wagamama, the Shackle Legend, but it doesn't matter. That is just 3 dead. For absolutely nothing whatsoever. They don't even take the tower, but that was only sitting on like 200 health. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was really bad one for them. Also, that shackle on G was really, really strange. Because there are 2 trees, like here, right? You can see them. He was directly in line with both of those trees, and it hits the second tree. Like, I just love how weird Shackle is in Dota 2. Like, everybody's confused by how Shackle works. Like, I'm pretty convinced that I think it's okay, but most people are like, Shackle is the most broken spell ever. Because it can latch like so randomly sometimes.
Sometimes it's like, okay, that shouldn't have hit. But
I feel like that, but it's because the way Shackle is coded in Dota 2 is different to how it was coded in Dota 1.
that might be.
It's got a really weird way that it was done.
Bounty Hunter
In Dota
sniped
2.
off? Ooh.
Sorry.
No, that was the only snipe off that happened. The tower dropped as well. VirtusPro is just rolling over QPAD at this moment. They're just being allowed to do whatever they want to. There's nothing that QPAD can do against it.
Yeah, VP have just got all the items they want, and are just like, let's go. And QPAD, they have a team that's very... It's almost a team that I would say is a bit like LGD style. Do you know what I mean? Where they have this very, very, like, we control the tempo, we take things at our own very slow pace, we want to do this, we want to do that, where they have Wagamama playing on a very, very strong tempo controller hero where they, you know, they're like, okay, now we go and kill someone, they roar him, they take out the kill very simply, and then they're just like, okay, let's go farm. But they're not able to do that because VP just run at them really hard, and their defensive tri-lane failed miserably, and Blue Banana is still trying to catch up on farm. I mean, he's going for BKB now, which is not ideal, but he needs it this game because of the heroes that he's going against. I mean, Storm Spirit can very, very easily deal with that on his own, so yeah, this is bad for them.
It is. I mean, they still have the had a tier 1 tower standing. That one is now down. And I mean, they picked up a bounty hunter, and when you pick up a bounty hunter, you're picking him up because of his track. That's the only reason you pick him up, because you know that there's going to be kills, and you're going to get track kills out of them. But there's only 2 kills for QPAD, so that bounty hunter has really not paid off. And that is
I don't think he's had a single track kill. It's
I
really
agree.
bad.
That is the biggest thing in this game, is Blue Banana is orchided up and will get taken down by these Reaper Scythe of Illidan that now has an Aghanims again. He is just, I mean, he has the same items in the previous game that he had 10 minutes later than he has it now, basically.
Yeah, he had these at sort of like the 30-minute mark in the last game, which is pretty poor, and he has them in the 20-minute mark in this game, which is really, really nice.
Yeah. Somewhere in between is the average. But yeah, with the Aghanims, the mechanism, it is very tough to kill him off. Another tower gets picked up. QPAD, they know they cannot defend it. That Beastmaster and Bounty Hunter, they need to roam around. They need to smoke up and make a kill happen on one target. And hopefully take a tower.
For them is
right now, yeah.
The problem for them is that they're putting the Storm Spirit like really, really far back. They're actually putting him really far back. And then they're finding someone, and they're jumping really far in. Look at this jump from them again. It's a really long jump.
Yep, and it's a gemmed up Storm Spirit, so they're able to snipe up the Bounty Hunter. That means even if QPAD gets some retaliation kills at some point, there won't be a track. And track kills are the way back into this game. If there is a way back into this game, then it is the tracks. I mean, there's a steep lineup for the gold graph. Experience graphs showing the same story. 15k on both accounts, and it's just... It's a very uphill battle for QPAD from this point onward. And it's not like we can say, like, if we turn this game to 50 minutes time, their late game is not guaranteed to win over the late game of VirtusPro. That's just not the case.
No, especially with a Storm Spirit on the field, who's very, very capable versus the Weaver. And the thing with Storm Spirit as well is that he feels a really weird role. We've seen him played in a lot of different ways. I think, for instance, Speed Gaming. They play him as like a hard farmer carry, and he can actually do that role, and he can actually win games versus heroes like Weaver in that role just by farming and going to the late game. In this game, he's got that sort of level of farm, but he's been aggressive. So yeah, this is really, really bad for VP. They need to find some sort of way of killing off a few supports a few times and then working up to killing some other people on the side of VP, because there's no way they can kill the Storm Spirit or the Necrolite at this point. It's impossible.
No, Venomancer is going to be more and more difficult as well. He's sitting on 2,300 gold. He is still below the Beastmaster in terms of net worth. Beastmaster, who has the mechanism for his team. But he is starting to get pretty fat as well. And this is just a slow siege coming off from VirtusPro. They don't have a Desolator yet on the side of Light of Heaven, though he is building towards it. But this tower is getting chipped away at, and slowly but steadily it will go down. There's not a lot that QPAD can do. I mean, if they throw out a roar right now, they would not be able to go in on it, and VirtusPro has got more free reign to be fighting in, because the only reason they're not going too aggressive and too high ground right now is because they know that if the roar is for someone in an awkward position, they are still gonna lose that target. That might still be a track kill, that might be the way in. Oh, the fish are set up for Wagamama. They are gonna be able to take him down. Nice blink echo slam from Arsart. 2 dead. With the time-lapse coming out for the Weaver. But the tower will still be dropped and QPAD will have to see their barracks taken down. They can't do anything against this. It's just not possible anymore. Unless there's gonna be some miracle happen, unless there's gonna be some big mistake from VirtusPro. But it doesn't look like that's gonna be the case for now, as Wind Ranger gets just stomped to death as well. Godlike, and the GG gets called out. QPAD, they've had enough. A victory, Poisonova comes out for Medved, but VirtusPro, in their 3 games that they've had tonight, they ended up in a 3-1, well 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, definitely a good showing from VP, especially because for a while, let's be honest, VP were pretty poor. They've changed their roster a little bit since then, and they're looking pretty strong at this point. I'm, really liking the way VP is playing now. I mean, it's not the hardest opponent QPAD, but their last opponent that certainly was. Their first game, they put in a good showing. Obviously, it ended up going badly, but I don't think they should let that hold them back at this point.
No, they've learned to fix that by just banning out the Alchemist, right? That's how it works.
I mean, it's a simple way of countering a hero.
Yeah.
That's why no hero in Dota is OP. Just ban it. Fuck it.
Just
ban
it. Indeed. Well, I actually do have a Moat lined up for the other 3 games that are going to come out tonight, so... I want to say thank you for joining me, and of course, especially thank you for joining me in this game, because that was a bit last minute. And do you have any shoutouts or plugins?
I don't have anyone to, plug or shout out. I'm sorry. Is that bad?
Not your mom?
No.
Is your mom not watching? What?
Dude, my mom's not watching. What would my mom watch?
I don't know.
What's to watch for her? She wouldn't, find this interesting.
My mom is watching. Well, she's not watching. She's probably listening. Hi, Mom.
Hello, Shiva's mum. I introduced myself to your mum before, Bulldog. I'm taking that. I'm taking that and going with it. That's going on Reddit. All right. Thanks for having me on. I'll hopefully be back soon enough. These are pretty interesting games. See ya. Good luck to them out.
Thank you, and have a good night. We'll be right back with our next game. We're going to have 3 more games coming up. Just a quick rundown. Rocks versus 4FC, QPAD versus Power Rangers, and Mousesports versus 4FC will be our 3 remaining games here in StarLadder Day 9, Season 8. We are going to be right back. Stay tuned.